Hello students, today we have with us Shruti Ola, who has secured rank through 329. Okay, we'll edit it. I mixed it up, right? Okay, one more blooper. Okay, this is it, right? Hello students, today we have with us Shruti Ola. We had a long conversation. We spoke on anime, we spoke on planning a trip to Japan, and right. I asked him for an itinerary, Gorakhpur platform, right? Which he knows.
तुम्हारी handwriting अच्छी है इसलिए तुम्हारा
Marks are right. Hello students, today we have with us Shruti Ola, who has secured rank 329, Darshana, who has secured 383, and Saurabh, who has secured rank 537. All were part of AIM, so we are calling this the AIM Roundtable. Okay. Disclaimers first. I have a tendency to step in, so whenever you have to complete something, you complete, and then we'll move on to the next question. Right? Okay. So the elephant in the room, right? Prelims,
Yes.
right? Did you take a look at the prelims paper this year?
Yeah, I think as soon as it came, I was
Your
waiting
friends
for.
writing?
Yeah, I have a lot of friends. I think all of us have a lot of friends writing. So as soon as it came, my first reaction was I just want to see the paper.
Right.
And I saw the paper and I just closed it because I opened with the history section.
Set A, set B.
Something like
Something
that.
like that.
Yeah. So I opened the history section and my history is very weak, like relatively weak. So I just look at 20-25 questions and I was done with the paper.
Right. What about you?
So my friends were obviously writing the paper. So I had a look. I was at the center with one of my friends.
Okay.
So after the paper, I had a look at it, and it looks really difficult, especially counting the heat, the length of the paper, and the
The length of the paper was different this time. I think even the number of pages were at least 5-6 pages more
Exactly.
in the paper.
and the type of questions. So that added to the difficulty.
There were case studies and all.
Yes.
Long questions in the paper.
And the pattern of options were also changed.
Right.
So in those 2 hours, you have to read, comprehend those many words.
And subject weightage also. I think the number of questions from polity where we invest a lot of time, that was also less.
Right, sir.
Right. Did you take a look at the paper?
Yes, sir. So before I took the look at the paper, I got a group.
Okay.
So after the prelims GS1, my friends they messaged in the group कि बहुत factual था and what was the paper about, and I was like ऐसा क्या है? Then when I got to look at the paper and I realized कि हाँ, it is factual paper, a little weird, a very lengthy paper, especially for A and D as you said, the
right.
history starting up
Right.
from there. So the difficult part was the length of the paper actually.
Right.
It goes beyond 55 pages, which is I think
Right.
first time.
Polity
in
composition. Polity is something that most people have a higher accuracy. And
Right.
I think there the number of questions were 7 or 8 or something like that.
7 or 8 questions.
Also in
yes.
geography,
Right.
the basic questions were not asked.
Not asked. And I think the cutoff is falling.
Definitely.
From our estimates, I think we are looking somewhere around 75, 76. It's
Yes.
closer to 2023 type of
Yes,
situation.
very close.
CSAT also. Did you
Yes.
see the CSAT paper?
I didn't look at the CSAT paper after looking at the GS paper. I was like, oh, okay.
Max optional people always have that urge to look at
Yeah,
the quant
right.
part. Right. How did you find the paper?
So sir, the difficulty in English has increased
Right.
compared to
The
2023.
people who started with the comprehension got stuck. That's what I heard. Right.
So if we take 2023 as a base of benchmark of difficulty, the English one difficulty has increased. Maths has gone slightly moderate, but it was like algebra heavy. So people who are familiar in like maths in school days, they will be able to do it. Otherwise, it's difficult.
It's difficult. So I think let's go to the beginning of everything. When did you decide that this was a career that you want to pursue, UPSC? Was it something that you decided in college or later?
I think we should start
Start with
from
Shruti.
ऐसे for that purpose, बचपन से my father was like कि a collector बनना है because it's very famous in the Purvanchal side of area.
Right.
So from there I got the instinct, and then I got serious about it when I was in my law school.
Okay.
Okay, so from there it got some serious, and then coming to Delhi.
A lot of law students are pursuing this.
Yes, sir.
Right. And then you came to, as soon as you finished the graduation, then you shifted.
Yes, sir.
Right. And that is which year?
So 2023. it was.
23. Just after COVID.
Yeah,
Somewhere there. Right.
somewhere.
What about you? When did you start?
Yeah, exactly same story. So since I was a kid, I have always heard कि UPSC करना है, civil services, collector बनना है, as you have said,
Right.
similar things. And when I went to college, I had this thing कि मुझे corporate में नहीं जाना है.
Okay.
So that was a
So you
motivating
were clear
factor.
what not to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I was very clear that I don't want to do this.
Right.
I don't want to go into corporate and do that.
And in hindsight, it looks like a good decision because of all this AI job losses and all.
Right. So I didn't want to go there. और वहीं से फिर 2023 में I graduated and I directly came here. Exactly same.
Okay. And
Yes.
you have sociology as an optional.
Yes.
Right. Is that your graduation subject also?
No, I have done my civil engineering from IIT Kanpur,
Okay.
but I have taken a lot of courses of sociology at IIT Kanpur
Okay.
because we have that humanities and social sciences wala courses option. So I used to take like 5-6 courses of optional sociology
Okay.
in my college. Yes.
Okay. What about you, Saurabh?
So my story is quite different from these two. Okay, so actually I was into research and core engineering.
Okay.
So
What's your graduation in?
I was graduated in material science engineering from IIT Bombay.
Okay.
So I was into battery energy material research.
Okay.
So I spent like
You worked also?
Yeah, I have worked
you
for
worked
4
in
and
Japan?
in Japan for 4.5 years.
4.5 years.
Then
That's-
around
that's
20
interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Then
We had a long conversation. We spoke on anime. We spoke on
Where to
planning a trip to Japan, and
Oh, okay.
right. I asked him for an itinerary, like
Okay.
where should you go, how many days you need.
Right.
I can be a good tour guide as
Tour
well.
guide in Japan. You understand Japanese?
Yes, I'm quite fluent.
Fluent in Japanese.
Oh, you
that's
speak
nice.
Japanese also.
Yes.
That's good.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah,
a
that's
secret
really interesting.
superpower.
So you watch anime in Japanese?
I'm not much of a fan of anime
Okay.
because I watched other Japanese movies like.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
No
to
animes.
interrupt.
Right.
But animes I have watched like the famous ones. Like
Naruto. That's the only.
Naruto,
Thing, that's the
Kimetsu.
only thing I
Death
remember.
Note.
Death Note, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Demon Slayer one.
Demon
the
Slayer, right.
The movies.
The movies are
recently
also
discovered.
there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So then COVID happened. Then I had to like reassess my career plans because I wanted to come back to India and stay here with my parents.
And this was your third attempt.
This was my fourth attempt.
Fourth attempt. Okay.
So I started in 2022.
Okay.
So civil services was like a career option for me.
Okay. Okay.
Initially, I was not driven by that urge to serve the society and all. I was looking for good career options.
If you have to outline your attempts and how each attempt went, how would it be?
So it was my second attempt.
Okay.
So the first attempt was like 3 months I went through the all journey,
Right.
and then I gave my prelims.
Okay.
So there I scored, I guess, 67 marks.
Okay.
So from there I realized that it is not a 3-month story and
Right.
it needs sustained commitment and efforts.
Right.
So from there I came to this AIM program.
program, right.
Yes, and then it
And
started.
it's in this attempt that you secured a
Yes.
rank. What about you, Darshana?
So this was my second attempt,
Second attempt.
and in my first attempt, I gave prelims and I also gave mains and interview.
Right.
Or I think the main thing that was stopping me or which got me less marks in mains was less practice.
That's practice.
Yes.
Right.
So-
And that's what AIM does, like, more
yeah,
and more
exactly,
practice. Right.
exactly. That's the point because I was enrolled in AIM in my first year only, but I was not able to do well in the first 2 months because I was writing mains.
Right.
And then I started writing AIM assignments, doing all the tests, and then I realized, okay,
Okay, you
that
have
was the
to- you
mistake I
have
was
to go,
making.
right.
Yes.
What about you? Fourth attempt this was.
Yes,
Right.
so I started in 2022, around December, January.
Hmm.
December of 21 January. And then I wrote this thing, 2022 prelims. I
Prelims.
got through. Main score was very poor. I was-
300, I believe you had 300 in GS.
Yes, around 300 or 1-2 marks less.
Less than 300.
So
right.
that was very poor. Then I was post mains. I was reassessing what to do, and I lost my way for next 3-4 months. I was
Okay.
doing internship, trying other things
That
here
would be
and there.
September, October, November
Yes.
kind of time.
Then I got myself back to prep again.
Right.
I
You
wrote
decided this is
2020.
it.
Yes.
Right.
Then 2023 prelims happened. I could not qualify.
Okay.
And that was the time
When you
actually AIM started.
Right.
that year
That's
only.
the first time.
Yes.
Right.
So I found it a good fit.
Right.
And then in the next mains, like 2024, my score in GS increased significantly.
Significantly. And 2025, you have scored more than 400
Yes.
in mains.
Even in 2024
Right.
one also, my score was same, 410.
410.
Only maths, my optional was pulling me back.
I think the average score of an AIM student who have written mains is 390, 400.
Yes.
Yes.
People, and I think it's mainly because anyone who has written 1,000, 2,000 answers obviously have exposed themselves to a large number of permutation combination of potential questions. Okay, so now most people go for crash courses. 3 months I will do this. How come you committed to a 15 months journey like this? What What was your thought process?
Sir, actually, the comprehensiveness of the AIM program, like even if I go for 3 months crash course, it would be for mains or maybe for prelims. But now in AIM, we get like it's a store market where everything is under one roof. So you'll get the guidance, you'll get the main study materials, the content, the answer writing, the prelims wala material, everything. So looking at that comprehensiveness of 1 year or 10 months, what it is. So I went to AIM for this purpose कि सब कुछ fulfill हो जाएगा within one program.
I sometimes say that it's like a gym, it's a club membership.
Yes.
You have swimming pool here, you have treadmill there. You can choose to use which one you need and best utilize that.
Yes.
Right? And you also took up a 15 months program.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And I think, sir, the subjectivity of mains, because you have so many subjects. You have your GS1, GS2, GS3.
Within that, you have multiple
exactly
compositions.
multiple subjects.
Right.
So it is very difficult to find good content and answer writing practice along with that for every subject.
Right.
So I think AIM provides that. And the second thing that I liked a lot was mentors. So it is very difficult to sustain that accountability.
Right.
You're disciplined, you're hardworking, you're doing everything right. But 1 week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, not more than a month. So if you have a mentor, जो एक बार भी अगर कॉल करके या टेक्स्ट करके बोल देता है कि क्या चल रहा है, have you written this test, have you done this, have you done that.
I remember seeing a message that Varun forwarded me. Varun is Shruti's mentor.
Yeah.
So he had given her an assignment to write an answer on a particular day, and she said I couldn't write because it was some puja happening at home.
And
he's
then
like,
he said rejected.
Rejected.
I gave him after the timeline.
Right.
So he said rejected. And
Right.
then I messaged him back, okay, from tomorrow onwards, I won't give you a chance to reject even my one answer.
Right. And I think you'll get enough chance to fail so that you learn from that failure. And I think the best thing about the program is that we have attracted some really passionate people to work with us.
Right.
Right. Be it Varun or Aman or Tarun. I think we got some really good people within the program. Why did you go for a 15 months program after 2 attempts?
Sir, it was a mix of two things.
Right.
One was the context.
Right.
I failed in 2023 prelims, so I had time at my hands. So, second, I was not enrolled in any classroom program prior to that for the GS Foundation course.
So you've done self-study.
Yes.
Right.
So I felt that this is something that will give me a comprehensive coverage of like the syllabus and the question types.
Right.
And secondly, while writing 2022 mains, I realized that reading and writing, those two are different games altogether. So I need to have focus on writing more.
No, I had a student who last year who was selected who came and literally said this, I have this much notes and I have written this much answers. And writing this much answers is more fruitful than reading this much content because it's applied learning. Right.
Exactly. And the thing about mains is that you are giving back-to-back papers.
4 papers.
Essay,
5
GS1,
papers.
GS2 and मुझे तो जब मैं सुबह कार से जा रही थी for GS3, I was like कि कुछ accident हो जाए इसका और मतलब I don't want to give this paper. I was so tired. You don't want to give that paper. But when you write so many answers, next time when I wrote with AIM और उसके बाद when I wrote mains, I was not feeling tired at all because तुम्हारा assignment है, हर हफ्ते तुम्हारा test है and every day you are writing.
Right.
And it is very important. Second thing is to have the muscle memory. You have read a lot of things, but when you're tired, you have already written for 1 hour, 2 hour. तीसरे घंटे तक, लास्ट घंटे तक दिमाग चलता रहे. It is very important. So it is very important that all the notes that you have studied should be in your muscle memory so that you're able to replicate it there on the paper.
I don't think you're making fresh ideas or fresh content in the examination hall. You're
Right.
literally
Of course.
putting back whatever is in your head. And I think what works for anyone who writes a large number of questions is that the chances of those themes repeating the actual examination is pretty high in some form or the other, right? And I think that's where all those assignments and assessments come into picture, right? Now, how was the first 3 months? Like, I think that's the time when most people give up, difficult to survive kind of situation. How was your first 3 months?
So starting from the first month, it takes like 5 to 6 hours to write
Every
even
day.
5 answers.
Right.
Like it does not seem कि इतना difficult होगा, but it actually takes 5 to 6 hours to write 5 answers.
Because you're researching, you're
Yes.
going back to the sources.
And then
right.
also we are doing it like for the first time maybe.
Right.
So that is the one thing. So because every day we are waiting for the best day to start. So we had never started. So 3 months was like ki there was low confidence definitely ki is this program fruitful or not?
Right.
Are we doing the right things? And for those instances. But then when we give test and then we score marks and then we went to mentors and they say कि नहीं आप अच्छा कर रहे हो, this is to be done, and then we solve PYQs and वहाँ पर भी हो रही हैं चीज़ें. So it comes the realization कि हाँ, the things are being done and the program is good. We have to continue with the program and then only some results would be yielded. So 3 months are difficult per se, but the commitments, if they're sustains, then I think in the long run it
I
is
think
very
attrition
fruitful.
peaks. Anyone survives the first 3 months, their chances of surviving longer
Yes.
is higher. In the first 3
Definitely.
months, it's difficult to sustain. So I have people who come for counseling in the first batch, like and next 2 months also they'll be researching on something or the other. You're looking for the next shiny thing to join. And third month or second month for the second batch also they'll come for counseling. And then I ask them, what have you done in the last 1 month? And I'll say that, the AIM student who joined 1 month ago has already written this many answers, has completed this subject, moved on to this subject. So I think in that sense that, you have a plan tomorrow what to do, this week what to
Exactly.
do. That really helps. How was your first 3 months?
So my story is a bit different because
Right.
I was also writing my mains
Right.
that year. So I was writing my mains, but the actual story began when I wrote my mains.
Right.
So after that, you're exhausted, you're very tired, and then I got a text from Aman sir, my mentor.
Right.
So Darshana, when are you coming back? I went to him, I'm like, अब तो हो गया ना mains, अब क्या करना है? And then when are you coming back? When are you writing your pending test? When are you doing your pending assignments? When are you doing everything? I was like, yes, okay.
Yes.
So then I came back and I think my first 3 months again started.
Right.
Even after writing a full mains.
Right.
And in my mains, I completed all the questions.
And I think you understand the conviction, you have the conviction of the need of it also more because you've just
Exactly.
come from mains, you don't
Yes.
have enough things.
Yes.
Right.
And I understood where I am lacking.
Right.
And I understood कि problem पढ़ने का नहीं है, पर तुमने enough लिया है. It's about writing. You need to write. You just need to write. You don't need to do anything else now. Like we were discussing mains. I was discussing with some friend yesterday. And मैंने कहा कि बस इतना ही कंटेंट है, इससे ज़्यादा कंटेंट नहीं है. मतलब you keep referring to material, and if it is not stuck to your mind, if it is not in your muscle memory, what are you going to do with it? So content is less, but you have to write more. And I think
that muscle memory part is important now. Like I was speaking to this guy Akansh, who's got third rank this year, no?
yes.
So you give him a keyword, he can tell you 30 things about that keyword.
Right.
Like he's just, and I think that's what is needed, right? Okay, you can criticize rote learning, whatever, but this is the exam, this is what is working. So you need to have that muscle memory developed over time. How was your initial months?
So actually it started with polity.
Okay.
So first 1.5 month was good, like I was enjoying it.
Right.
Then history came. So that phase I was feeling a little bit, what to say, too much, and
Right.
I have too much to do, right?
Right.
So many answers every day, then writing tests, because I didn't used to like history much.
Right, okay. So
it
that
was
some
a
subjects
mix.
were mixed and difficult for you.
Yes. So after like 10-15 days in history, it became a habit sort of stuff.
Last year we had a student, Abhishek. He said that, I became ChatGPT. Like, now you ask me any question,
Right.
I will give you an answer on anything, right?
I would just like to add here because history. So if you have given a sectional history test ever in your life, mains ka, I think you can do anything after that.
That's
Because
right.
after writing 20 questions of history, you can do anything in your life.
Right.
Mains ka koi bhi paper aa jaye, you will not be scared of anything.
Anything, right?
And also, sir,
Right.
like जब लगता था कि अब नहीं होगा and everything, you give some appreciation type of thing, like
Right.
this cup.
Cup. Yeah, we have that
After
AIM
writing
cup.
all the assignments and answers, we got this cup.
Right.
So it was like, acha, we'll have to
Right.
write more and get more things like that.
Last year I had a student who came and said that, sir, this is the first time in my life I'm getting something. So this is my first prize. I think I told this last time also. So some people, again, it's not a big thing, but we just wanted people to appreciate that you have done this. It's not a small thing.
Yes.
Now, I think the biggest challenge that a student faces now is attention, right? All the apps, all the notifications, all the WhatsApp messages. How do you guys manage this? Because attention span is super low, right? We say Gen Z has attention span of a goldfish, and I think I don't even have that much attention span. There is something that people say that social media has not spoiled the young people; it has spoiled the older generation, our
That's
parents,
true.
our
Right.
grandparents. They are the ones who have been spoiled, right?
That's true.
How did you deal with this attention
Okay,
problem?
so for me, I only used WhatsApp and some Telegram like things. No Insta, no Facebook, never in my life up till now. Now I've started
Now
to.
you've started, right.
And for YouTube, I've disabled my YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, because I was already getting contents from here and contents like the what I needed, like basic and standard books. So I thought I was not in need of YouTube, so I have disabled it. So no notifications, no reel, nothing.
You didn't feel like you missed out something?
No, sir, I didn't feel like feel like that. It was like minimum resources and maximum revision was the thing. So I was not in the FOMO. In fact, in the ZOMO. Okay, I'm missing out. Something's better.
Right. No, I think what is happening in most of the apps, even if they have long form content, when you're opening, it starts with shorts.
Yes, it starts
Yes,
with shorts.
It
even
starts with
YouTube
shorts.
does that.
Right.
That's
Even
a very
YouTube does.
evil thing to do for a.
As a parent, it's even more difficult. I have a 10-year-old son, and
Yes.
it's difficult. I think someday you guys will become parents, and I think the biggest challenge is in parenting is focus now. How did you deal with? You have a smartphone? You had a smartphone while preparing?
Yes, I had
A smartphone.
Okay, because I had to WhatsApp call my mother.
right.
Right. So similarly, I only used WhatsApp and Telegram
Okay.
for my social media needs, and I made it a point, very brute force point, like we were talking, ki during my mains preparation, like all the time, I will not scroll.
Okay.
Ever in my life, I will not scroll. कुछ भी हो जाए, I will not scroll. That's my rule. उसके बाद जब
You
exam
start scrolling, and before you know, it's 2 hours.
Exactly. You don't
Where did
know.
time
So, एक दो shots कोई नहीं देख रहा है. मतलब at least 40-50 shots at one time. So, similarly, I made it a point, and I think अगर बात करें about the need of social media, I personally believe कि till prelims and mains, you don't need social media as such.
Right.
But during our
Interview
interview,
stage,
yes,
right.
because you have to be aware, you need to know things, what's happening, because Twitter में जो है वो शायद
What
तुम्हारा
are
सवाल हो
people's
सकता है.
views, opinions?
Exactly.
Right.
So you need to build an opinion. Your opinion needs to be dynamic. Things are changing every day. So then you need social media, and that too Twitter.
And I think social
such.
media has a tendency to sensationalize
Yes.
sensationalized certain things,
Yeah.
not
Right.
the core requirement of an idea. Right? What about you?
Sir, in my case, actually, I'm not so addicted to reels as such. I was not. These days, I might have become a bit
Right.
more.
I think
Kyunki-
you're going the Shruti's way, right?
Yeah. So, so what happens if you give me a 30-second, 40-second content? I don't
Right.
feel satisfied. जो और चाहिए.
Right.
So that kind of not an attractive
I was
thing.
telling
of
about
it.
my son. No, we have all seen full episodes of Tom and Jerry. Now these guys are getting shots of Tom and Jerry where only Tom is running behind Jerry,
Right.
and there's no closure. Like what happened after that, what happened before that, it's not there, and it's playing with your head.
Yes.
Right? It's weird.
The second thing was I used to have like fixed time slots.
Okay.
I used to put my phone.
This
in
a lot of people are doing,
Yeah.
right?
I used to put it in a box and lock it,
right.
and put my key intentionally away so that कि बीच में 10-20 second का I'd get a time
Right.
to realize कि what am I going to do.
Right. You have to search for the key. Or
Huh,
you have to
search
take
for
an
the key.
effort to pick up that key.
That thing, and also I was like active on Telegram, WhatsApp, Twitter majorly.
Right.
So I had friends who were part of this preparation. So most of the time I used to have discussions about what's going around.
Right.
So it kind of helped me a lot in.
Some people I've heard that they'll pick up only the phone in the night 1 hour, or they'll pick up the phone only while having meals.
Yes.
Right. That is also something that people do.
I also used to do this thing that I would put my phone completely on DND,
Okay.
with some exceptions of calls like my mother and
Mother
my
or
father, of
someone.
course.
Emergency calls.
Emergency calls only, and completely on DND for 3 months, like till I'm doing mains.
I had a student few years ago, he was sitting with me and he was getting calls again and again. And I asked him, you pick up. And then I very strongly remember what he said. That call is not going to help my preparation, so I'm not going to pick it up.
Okay.
And I think
makes a lot of sense.
that it's important to be brutally selfish. That selfishness is a part of this preparation process.
I think also the mental resolve
Right.
is very important.
It's easier said than done.
Yes.
Because you don't know what you start with and where you end up with on the screen.
Exactly.
Right.
So, how did you guys, what do you call, was it a late night preparation, early morning preparation? What kind of a person are you?
No, sir, I was not an early bird. Late night preparations.
Right.
So it starts from I think 9 o'clock in the morning,
Okay.
and then goes up to 12 or 12:30 or 1 in the night. Yes.
So you sit late and prepare at that time.
Yes, I said the thing was I make a timetable, and the motive was to complete every stuffs mentioned in that timetable.
For that
if,
day?
Yes, for that day. If it takes 8 hours, 6 hours, or 9 hours, it has to be completed. That
Complete.
was the main
And
motive.
then only you'll go to sleep.
Yes.
Right. So what did you do for the exam cycle? Because the sleep cycle is different for exams. How did you fix that?
Sir, I don't have any such problem.
Problem,
in
right.
even if I wake like sleep late nights 1 or 2, and I have to give exams at 9. So for me, there is no such problem like that.
Okay.
So I used to manage in that.
You're also late night.
Yes, and I think the answer to that is caffeine. Lots
Right.
of caffeine.
That's why I think a lot of coffee shops run in over and
Yes,
late night.
so
That may
it's
be a reason.
black coffee and Red Bull for me.
Right. Which is your favorite coffee spot in Oran?
Coffee,
Josie's or
Josie's. I
Josie's?
love
I
Josie's.
think
Yes, they have
Josie's.
great cold coffee and iced.
They have that
Americano.
Chikmagalur coffee, I know.
Oh, I have not
They
tried
have they have a special coffee which is nice.
Okay.
I know the guy.
Okay.
who
Okay.
runs Josie's. He's from Chennai, I think.
Oh, okay.
Right. He knows how to make filter coffee. Right.
Oh, okay.
So late night.
So I used to wake up at 7 or 8 a.m. similarly and start studying by 8:30 or 9.
Okay.
And then what I used to do is I used to make 3-hour slots. So for these 3 hours, I'm not going to get up from my chair. I will not look at my phone. I will not do anything. And for 3 hours, I'm not going to move anywhere.
Okay.
और ऐसे 3-3 घंटे के 3
Three
slots.
slots of 3.
हाँ,
So
so
did you
it's-
have a Pareto, what do you call, Pomodoro kind of technique?
Sort of,
30
yes.
minutes?
No.
No, okay.
Continuously 3
Continuously
hours.
for 3
Because one of my seniors told me कि the mains that you're writing, it's a 3-hour paper,
3-hour paper.
3-hour long paper. So if your brain gets tired in 1 hour or 2 hours, 2.5 hours, that is not going
That's
to work.
not a good sign.
Till the last minute of 3 hours, your brain has to work. You have to write till the last 3 hours.
So you have to develop that ability to
Yes.
have that focus for 3 hours.
Yes,
Right.
because it's not about physical exhaustion, that's there. But the bigger thing is mental exhaustion. If you're not able to concentrate continuously for 3 hours, you won't be able to concentrate in your paper as well.
Right.
जो आपने सोचा है आप लिख के कुछ और आते हो. हर बार यही होता है कि we have read so much और हम लिख के अब तब भी ये होता है अगर आप इतना कंसंट्रेट कर रहे हो, but still it will happen less because your mind is trained to at least work for 3 hours.
And I think it goes back to your other argument of having to write 5 papers back to back on
Yes.
3 days. That also you need to develop that stamina to achieve
Exactly,
that. Right?
exactly. So 3 hours and 3 slots and 9-10 घंटे से ज़्यादा किसी की पढ़ाई मतलब
I
होती
think
नहीं.
last 2 years we had some toppers. What they do is that on the test day, whether it's a Sunday or a Saturday, they write 3 tests.
Yes.
Right. That is also something that's picking up.
Yeah,
Right?
I have also done that.
Three
Yes.
tests.
How exhausting was it?
It's you're crying and writing. I am not
Tears
kidding.
on the paper, kind of.
I am not kidding. I am not kidding. I used to write with a gel pen and crying, but you cannot stop.
Right.
If you stop right now, you don't have time.
Because when you're trained for 9, 6 is
6 is
Nothing.
Cakewalk.
Cakewalk,
6 is
right,
then
right.
cakewalk. But yeah, I have written 3
I had
papers.
Divyank last year. He said that, the day I write 3 papers, I order from Zomato. That's my treat for myself. Like, I deserve this kind of thing.
I have gained a lot of mains weight.
Mains weight. That's a good word. Mains weight.
Mains weight.
Right. What about you?
So for me, sir, I used to believe that a day is like a cycle. So
Right.
it doesn't matter where you start and where
Right,
you
right.
end. So I had like 2 rules: at least 8 hours of sleep,
Right.
and 1 hour of workout.
Right.
That is one thing
you were
that
able
I.
to get. Right.
Yeah, that is like my personal thing. I must do that. Apart from
Vivekananda
that is
Park?
work.
Cindy Park? No.
No, I used to go to a gym.
Gym. Okay.
So apart from these 9-10 hours, these are mine. Rest 14 hours I'll devote to work.
I was
and
recently
studies like work.
seeing a shorts or a reel of a NEET student, a topper and a student is asking, "Bhaiya, aap kitne ghante padhte ho?" And he's like, I have this much time allocated for my studies, and whatever is remaining for others is other task. So it's not like, what I take out of the day for studies. It's like, what do I take out of my day after the studies is for my rest of the task.
Nice.
And I think that is important, right?
And also, sir, to add to that, like 6, 7 or 8 hours, depending on how much is the target.
And I think it's
start my
cyclical
day.
also.
Yes.
Closer to the examination, it goes up to 12,
Right.
14,
13, yes.
13, 14.
Because high intensity preparation or efforts are it's
Again,
very difficult
fitness
to.
terminology, HIT.
Yes.
Right.
So it's difficult to sustain.
Okay.
You'll have to slow down.
No, I was advising a couple of people after prelims that take a few days off because you have the next 80, 90 days where you have to
Yes.
be under high pressure, right? Now, again, I've heard from people after joining AIM that it has not only changed their preparation, it has also changed some life habits because you have come into a routine, you are doing things consistently. What other things changed in your life?
So one is the discipline.
Discipline, okay.
Like, we have never been that much disciplined to sit and write those answers and then
Right.
give the test.
Right.
So from like 5-6 days in a week, you have to write answers, 7 day giving test.
Right.
That's discipline is one thing. Second thing would be like procrastination, कि कल करेंगे, फिर लिख लेंगे. Because AIM is so rigorous. If you do कि कल करेंगे, लिख लेंगे,
It's gonna
फिर
pile
से, yes, pending works और पूरा pile हो जाएगा. So the best thing is कि you have to do things at the right time वहीं पे. So that 2 things I would say. One is the discipline. discipline part. Second, ki procrastination has been stopped.
Stopped, right? What about you?
Yeah, mostly that, and one good habit is Sunday's test day.
Sunday's test day.
Sunday's test day. Matlab, it gets imprinted in your mind, Sunday's test day.
Yes.
So you plan your entire week according to that. So whatever you are doing in your week, आप ऐसे ही पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, आप अपने notes बना रहे हो, आप assignment कर रहे हो. मेरा सारा focus ये होता था कि Sunday को test है.
I think the day you write test, nothing else works. Like you are exhausted, even if it's one test or two tests.
That's
You
the
don't have
only thing
energy
we
for
could
anything
do.
else.
Then you just treat yourself with good food.
And I think you need a half day break on a Sunday. What about you?
So I think my perspective of this exam changed. I started looking at from a point of view of ki, this is a question. I have like 20 questions on my paper,
Right.
and I have to write them.
Right.
So my mindset should be that only. Ki wo
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Right.
I have to like 2 pages or 3 pages.
Right.
So those 2 pages and 3 pages will run in my mind.
Muscle memory again.
Yes.
Right.
And I will kind of visualize ki I need to put a diagram, or I have to write a conclusion, or intro or data points.
Right.
Where will I put those things? So my perspective comes.
Now also I think when you see a question, that's what's running in your head. Like
Exactly,
intro,
sir.
body, conclusion, keywords.
Yes.
Right.
Page 1 पे जाएगा, page 2 पे जाएगा,
Exactly.
page 3 पे जाएगा. So that kind of stuff.
I would just add to that because we were talking about mains का preparation. So I used to judge my mains का preparation in August जब तुम्हारा सारा revision हो गया है. If I give you any topic, are you able to create an intro, body, conclusion, and body में 3-4 points? If you're able to do that, then good enough.
You're in a good place.
Yes, you're at a good place.
Right. What is something that was part of AIM that you initially resisted, but later you felt, okay, this was a good thing to do? Was there something like that? Which you did not initially believe in, but later you had a different
I initially did not believe in the whole
program. Right? That's a good one. Right?
Either it is making some sense or not.
Not making sense.
But
you have to trust.
Yes,
Right.
we have to trust any day, and then as the time passes on, then the trust gets stronger.
Right.
Because we get the results.
Right.
And then there's a mentor knocking at the door every time. Where are you? Are you doing things rightly or not? So yes, then the trust builds up.
I think the brief from me to the mentors is that, you irritate people so much, either they block you or, so every week or every 2 weeks I have a call with the team and I say that, I need that, make sure that everybody gets a call in the next 2 days. So people keep calling and messaging and I think with AI we have become very creative in all the messages also, like,
Yes.
attention warriors and all those things we started doing, right? And at some point you had to answer that question, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I would just say those sectional tests, I will repeat myself.
Okay.
But मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि हिस्ट्री के 20 सवाल देने की तो कोई ज़रूरत नहीं थी, मतलब
But
क्यों आई है मेरे साथ?
again, yes.
हाँ, so but of course that helps a lot.
But I think it's not one paper or a subject, because there are things which you learn in history which gets used in
Yes.
society or in IR.
Yes.
And I think that intersectionalities of thing and your paper neutrality of the content is something that, again, I'm quoting Dipin sir, paper neutral keywords and
Yes.
all those things. Right. So that keeps coming into back to your paper. Right.
Yeah. Initially you resisted
Resisted something,
in
but
mains
later
program, but
felt,
AIM
right.
program, yes.
So for me it was like being disciplined.
Right.
Like as
There was a resistance for it.
yes, they were saying Darshana used to plan her week. I didn't have this habit. I was like, since I was working in a corporate sector earlier,
Right.
so I used to have
One day at a time.
like chill Mondays and Tuesdays, then heavy Wednesday to Friday,
Right.
heavy Wednesday to Friday.
Right.
So in
Whenever you only work when the deadline is
nearer.
Right.
So it used to be my approach in initial weeks, but later on it used to exhaust me a lot.
Oh.
So that after 2.5 months, I changed my strategy. I used to do heavy lifting on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays.
So you move to a consistent mode, right? From corporate to
a student
civil
life.
servant aspirant mode, right? At what point did you realize that, okay, now preparation is getting better, my answers are looking good?
Okay, so when I have written lots of answers, like I have done with my polity, economy, geography wala part,
Right.
and then I have given test, I have scored well in the test, then I have realized ki okay, my preparation is now moving in the right direction,
Right.
and now I have doing things which is better off, and I could get the hold of mains right now.
Right.
So that
That was the
practice
point you
all-
started getting a confidence that maybe I could clear this exam.
That's
right. Right. For you?
I think I can quote 2 things. First would be when I'm able to finally complete my paper in 3-3.25 घंटे. मतलब I will not say 3 hours, but 3
3 hours is only for the UPSC exam.
Exactly.
Right? If you're able to do 3:15, you'll
But
do
that's
3.
really tough. Completing
really-
the paper in 3 hours, it's a very,
Very
difficult task.
And with the kind of good handwritings that you people have, it's even more difficult.
And
Not
I
me,
will
sir.
add I will add to this, if you have written an next IAS ka paper in 3.25 घंटे, because you have really
Long questions,
sheets.
multiple parts.
Yeah, multiple parts and long sheets also. You have
Right.
to write a lot.
Yeah.
And the UPSC copy is a bit
Shorter. Right.
So first thing is that this is how I used to judge when I'm able to write my paper, complete my paper in 3 hours or 3.3 घंटे में. And I
Sawa
think-
is half, no, or quarter?
No, it's
1 to
3 hours,
5.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15
Okay.
minutes.
Being a South Indian, I
Yeah,
15
15
find it
minutes.
difficult with Sawa and Pona and all.
Yeah.
Ded.
And I think second thing would be when I see a very difficult question,
Right.
I see कि अब इसमें कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है, मतलब I don't know a lot about it, I don't know the keyword, but I'm still able to write a decent answer.
Right.
तब I used to think, okay, I have some decent mains का preparation, because there will always be bouncers. You cannot read everything.
I had an interesting conversation this year. There's this guy Raghav who got rank 4.
Yes.
So he was part of the mains test series. So we were discussing, and he said, so I asked people whenever they come, what do you do for a difficult question? And my usual advice is that, give it less time, make a decent answer and move on. He said something interesting where he said that, I realized that this is one question where everyone is going to move on.
Yes.
And this is an opportunity for me to create an edge.
Yes.
So unlike people who rush those questions, I take some more time and try again. That was new
That's a
for me.
unique
That's a
thing,
unique
actually,
way
way to think
to
about
talk
it.
about things. Like so he said, I'll look at that part and I'll put a little more effort, and my answer would be differentiated.
Because marginal advantage is higher.
Higher there, right? And I think it made a sense.
Yes,
Right.
definitely.
What about you?
So for me, I started realizing the changes only during the MTS phase.
Right.
Because during the
That's when you're coming back after prelims and
Prelims.
right.
because for me it was easier to revise content and then write.
Right.
So revising and writing tests become easier.
Okay.
And also I like other people used to write like 3 tests a day
Right.
to practice. I used to reduce the time like
Okay.
2 hours 50 minutes. That's my
That's
deadline.
your goal. Okay. Not a 3-hour paper if you can finish in 250.
250 I'll be fine, because doing 3 papers you soch ke dar
No,
lagta
9
hai.
hours is
Two.
It's crazy. You will cry, right?
You do.
We are trying something new this year as a part of every year we try to add something into the program. So in the every subject, let's take polity, we have 3 tests, 2 half tests and a full test. So what we have done this time is that normally you have a question paper, an answer booklet and a solution. So we are adding a scaffolding or a nudge sheet with the question paper, which the student can choose to use or not. What we realized is that we are giving advice after the student has already written the test. So it's mostly reactive in nature. Darshana, you should have done this. Darshana, you did not look at this. So what we're doing now for this year is that in the half test, we'll give a nudge sheet where in question number 1, you could try this approach. Or you could try drawing a map out here.
Right.
You could write introduction from this perspective.
Yes.
You can choose to use it or not. So we wanted to make it a little more proactive so that you have a sheet for clues, like a cheat sheet in a game. Like, you have something to help.
Yes.
And we'll pull out that in the full test.
Okay.
So in a way, you are getting some kind of advices which you can implement from test 1.
So it's like training wheels.
It's training wheels. I got the idea from my son's. He plays Xbox. He plays FIFA. I lose with him every time badly. So half the time I see him that he has this trainer mode where he's passing, tackling. He's trying all the stunts before.
He has practice mode.
He has practice mode. So I think this scaffolding sheet along with the test would be something that would be nudging the people in that direction.
Yes.
To add to that, sir, when I started like writing answers for AIM, so initially I used to feel lost. क्या लिखूं, intro क्या लिखूं,
Right, right.
conclusion क्या लिखूं, which इस answer में क्या क्या चीजें आएंगी. If that can be added to daily answer targets as well, it would be a great.
What we added in the subsequent year is that we have an approach
Yes.
in the morning.
Achha.
You have the approach now.
Achha,
You
it's already
have-
there.
So every year we have added
it's already there.
new things.
Okay.
From our experience, whatever we felt we could do more, we have added into the program.
So in my days, it
It was not there. You
was
were
not
you're version 1, version 2, version 3, right? This
I'm
is version
version 2.
We are version 2,
Version-
right?
we both are
version 2s, right? So this is version 4, right? So again, one lighter question: what is one superstition you have? I think Ritika said this last year. On the day of test, she eats only idli.
Idli.
Idli. That is
Okay.
her what do you call superfood for test. What is one superstition you have with respect to the preparation?
So So that I have to write only with V7 pen.
Right.
That
Okay.
is one thing, because I've tried with many other pens. But pen doesn't make any sense
Right.
actually, but maybe a superstition. I've tried with many other pens, and it was like कि इस pen से मेरी handwriting अच्छी नहीं हो रही है, इस pen से I'm not able to complete the entire test.
But I believe pens can make a difference. I'm a big fan of this Uniball Air.
Okay.
They can make a difference.
Right.
Like if you're used to one pen, like I'm used to V7 pen, so it does make a difference. I feel that. So that's a superstition.
Because
maybe.
different thickness, different
yes.
hold, grip, speed, everything happens. Right? What about you?
I don't think I have a superstition as such, but for prelims paper,
Right.
I have one thing. So I always start from 100th question.
Okay, reverse.
Yes,
Back.
I do my entire paper from 199, 98.
Okay.
I go from.
Is it difficult?
I don't know. It's
You're
just a
used to
thing.
it. That's how you train.
I think I'm lefty, and that's how my brain works.
Okay, okay.
I don't know,
Okay.
but I just feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable doing this.
Okay.
That's just weird.
What about you?
So, sir, I kind of run superstition R&D.
Okay.
I opt-
Superstition R&D. Okay.
So
I
I-
asked to the right person.
Yes.
so I write tests wearing different clothes.
Different clothes. Okay.
So I'll figure out in कपड़ों में मेरे marks अच्छे आ रहे हैं. This day was
So what is the color that works for you?
this one works.
This one. This one is
works
your
for
favorite.
me.
Right. Okay.
Black and blue pant works.
Is
for
there
me.
any scientific explanation?
No.
No. It's just what works
It's
in your
just
mind.
that I feel like there are so many uncontrollables.
Right.
If I can control my
No, I have
clothes.
heard this from all these big people. They wear only, like Mark Zuckerberg only wears t-shirts
Yeah.
and same color and things like that.
Maybe convenient can
Convenience.
be a
Also.
lo-
You don't have
logic
to
there.
take that decision that what do I choose
Yeah,
to wear
that
today.
reminds me of one superstition actually
Right.
that I forgot. I don't shower.
Okay. Already have exam. Right. Okay.
So I shower at night.
Right,
I
okay.
never shower in the morning. Like
Okay.
I have given
Makes you
interview-
sleepy.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't know. So for interview, for mains, anything, I have never showered in the
Okay.
morning.
Okay. Okay.
I always shower at night.
Right.
Showering at night is actually a habit for me.
Oh, for you also.
Same.
Like, I think
So-
it cools down the body until.
I get good sleep.
I think that's an advice that people give. Go for a walk, take a shower, then go to sleep. Warm
Yes.
milk. These are part of traditional knowledge, I think.
I used to shower at 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I used to optimize those
Okay.
things, clothes.
So you experiment your superstitions and then decide
then
the
decide
superstition
this
works.
ये exam दिन ये करना.
Right.
Then,
What about interview?
on the day of interview?
Right.
Like
Not
I
this
had-
color, obviously. You wouldn't have
obviously.
wear this color.
I had optimized my socks.
Socks. Okay. Socks is of this color.
That's great.
Socks, specs,
Okay. Okay.
these things.
So you have different specs for different events.
Like I have like 3-4 specs.
3-4 specs. I also have 3 specs. I always assume this will break and I should have a backup. All us, except you are, all of us are specs people. Right.
I'm 6 on 6 on my
6 on 6.
Oh my
right,
god.
right.
Yeah, I have also 3-4 specs. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So I started having backup specs after I lost my specs during river rafting event.
Okay.
So उसके बाद से रखना चालू कर दिया.
Okay.
And also from pen perspective, I also optimized there.
Okay.
I used to
A
have
lot of superstition optimization.
So logical way of approaching superstition,
Superstition.
which is the most illogical thing ever.
Illogical thing ever.
He's approaching it very logically.
so what
This is
worked,
very interesting.
what worked for me, refill from a pentonic gel,
Okay.
0.6
Okay.
mm nib, and there's this ball pen body.
Okay. Into a ball pen body.
Yes,
Okay.
gel pen into a
Okay.
ball pen
How much
body.
iterations you have to take to reach there?
10-12. like.
10-12 iterations. Oh my god.
And it fit perfectly in my hand. I
Okay.
don't like thicker body. I like thinner pen body,
Right.
and it should have a rubber grip.
Yes.
This is getting more interesting than
And,
I thought.
and then I wanted gel.
What else? Not in preparation, in personal life. What else have you experimented? Since we are talking about this, right?
Okay, so in personal life, like I do work out every day.
Right, right.
So I have certain go-to workout to begin with.
Okay, so you have experimented. to
Experimented
that,
में कि कौन सा काम कर रहा है, कौन सा नहीं कर रहा है. things
How
like
do you? So you have a note journal you write down
Yes, sir, that.
in the head. Right?
In the head.
Okay, not that crazy. Right?
that. For exam, I had like
Okay.
close actually.
Close. Okay. Okay. Rapid fire. Okay. So I'm gonna tell some myths. You just respond yours, right? 14 hours a day of preparation, is it must or not?
No.
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 No way.
Okay. You have to make detailed notes and revisable notes for every subject.
Revisable notes.
Revisable notes.
Or revisable notes.
Revisable notes.
That means concise, short,
Very short
very
notes.
short ones, like assignments, kind of.
Especially if you have pictorial memory.
Pictorial memory.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Optional decides your rank. Not for law.
But it does.
It does, right.
Like-
No, but I think I always tell people who choose law as an optional that don't look at from a law marks. You think about what it can do for your paper too. what it can do for your essay. Right.
Definitely, the law helps in all other disciplines,
Right.
but the pathetic scores we get in law, I am very sad with it.
Right. What about you?
No.
No. Okay.
For me, definitely.
Mathematics
yes.
has to agree. They have
Definitely.
to agree. Right.
Okay.
It is a difference between getting into the list or not.
Or not, because when it does on a good day, it does
It does
Yeah.
really well, right? You have to give up social life for UPSC preparation.
Not exactly.
Okay, you could balance.
Yes,
Okay.
that will work.
Yeah, not at all.
You had.
I
your-
had a very vibrant,
Vibrant,
social life for some reason.
Right.
Every Saturday, Sunday.
Sunday
so-
you were happy. Right?
Same for me, sir.
Okay. Okay.
You need to be in touch with your friends.
Yes.
Multiple revisions matters or more than single reading.
Okay, no, multiple revisions matter. Like,
okay.
yeah, for me, multiple revision matters. Like, for example, I have one book, I'll revise it 5 to 6 times,
Okay.
and not going to all the books we have in the market. So, multiple revisions.
Limited material, multiple revision, and at least 2 to 3 revisions before mains, like that 3-month period.
Quick
Yes.
ones.
For me, sir, multiple revision actually didn't work. I kind of
He experimented with that.
He optimized it.
Optimized it, right?
Okay. So I was kind of tried that also, and then what worked for me, ki, do one thing properly, like give like 2, 3, 4 hours, just set it in your brain somehow.
Lots of reflective journaling.
lot of thinking. And I think another problem along with social media is the abundance of content and guidance.
Yes.
There is
Paradox of
so
choices.
so much of choices, so much of advice, and everything is right, everything is wrong. And I think, how did you deal with something like that? When we were preparing, no, we did not have that much to distract us. Social media was not
Disable
distracting.
your YouTube.
Right. Disable YouTube. Okay. But what about because you have almost every topper has a Telegram channel. I'm assuming some of you also have Telegram channels, right?
No, sir, I don't.
Not yet. Okay. Not yet. That's the word I use, right? Because everybody is telling what worked for them.
Yes.
And then how do you choose what to choose?
So I would always choose in my life also, in preparation also, I would choose 2-3 people that I completely trust.
Right.
So there was my mentor, there I have one senior and I have 1-2 other
Friends.
people, yes.
Right.
So I will only trust these 4 people, and whatever they tell me, I will do it
Because
blindly
advice
also.
is abundant. Your relatives have advice on preparation. Your neighbor has advice on preparation.
Yes,
Right.
but I will just choose 4 people in my life, and I will trust them completely, and whatever they tell me, I will do it blindly also. But
Before the interview, me and Aditya, we were discussing the weirdest advices we have gotten for preparation. So he was like, there was an uncle who came and asked, do you know which is the longest platform in railway platform in Asia?
Yes, that's a GK question.
Right.
Yes.
And he's like, how are you preparing for UPSC if you don't know this?
I think that's
Gorakhpur
Gorakhpur.
platform. Right.
You
She knows it.
know that.
She's from that region, no?
Right.
I'm from Varanasi.
Oh,
That's
you're
all.
from-
And I've always heard all these questions that you get in interview, like, how many steps did you climb?
Yeah, how
Right.
many steps, and which train you came, or
Right. What is the color of the wall behind you? Right. I've heard a lot of such advices. Right. Now, test series should be done after one full revision, or you have to start writing even if you are not ready.
No, sir. I think if I am ready, then only I will start writing. Because if I'm writing, even if I'm not ready, then it will be like I'm missing out something. आ नहीं रहा है, तो it will be like underconfident हो जाएगा फिर इंसान.
Right.
So for me, I used to do my basic stuffs. I have to do something to get ready to the stage of test series, I would say, and then I'll go on to write the test series.
What about you?
I don't think I had an option like that, because I completed foundation, I did prelims, and then I had to give mains. So I was just reading and taking tests. So, and I also believe that once you're done with your foundation, just jump into it.
Okay.
It's hurtful, but
What about you?
I think I have a slightly different perspective from Shruti. Actually, I feel that, as I said
You have
earlier,
a
reading.
different perspective on everything. So, right, so I don't think you have to say that part. Right.
So I feel reading and writing are two different things.
Right.
Even if you have not done enough reading, you should start writing.
I think
Writing
it's true also,
for-
because you're
yes.
going to get questions that you don't know. You
Agreed.
have to have that ability to make up an answer on something you don't know.
Writing from the perspective, whatever knowledge that you have, you need to put it on paper. Because during mains also, during final exam also, you won't know answer of all those questions. You will have to knowledge your subconscious knowledge.
Okay.
So try to put that in a paper, and also get familiar with how to write, what to write, where to write.
Even if you don't know,
Even if you don't know.
right? You should have a minimum make-up answer.
Exactly, and have familiarity with those 2 and 3 pages, whatever is going to be put before you during exam.
Handwriting matters or not? I think you'll agree.
But I don't think so. But my friends they say कि तुम्हारी handwriting अच्छी है इसलिए तुम्हारा
Marks
हुआ
are
है. So that is one thing they say. But maybe it worked for me.
Okay.
I have a good handwriting, or like seriously I don't know.
I
If
think
does
I'll put a screenshot of your handwriting in this video. Like your handwriting is really nice.
Yeah,
Like,
her handwriting is really good.
we have a slam book out here. No, all the toppers have written. So whenever
I'm
someone
first
comes,
one to
you're the
write.
first one to write.
Yes.
So whenever someone comes, I show them that you see this. Nobody has bad handwriting. You should have good handwriting. Right. What about you?
I think it should be clear and legible.
Legible. Right.
Yes. Legible, structured, and when someone sees your paper, they don't get scared. Because कुछ
Or
लोगों
they
का
don't second guess what is
yeah,
written.
exactly.
Right.
And उनको ज़्यादा दिमाग use ना करना पड़े.
breathing space should be there.
हाँ, exactly. So it should be well spaced, clear, legible, structural. It's structured. I
You have a
think
different
that's
opinion on this also.
So I feel, sir, that the 2-3 people sitting before you, they should not have good handwriting.
Good handwriting. Yes.
Wow.
That actually affects. Like as an evaluator, I always have a bias if I have a great paper and then the next paper comes not so good. I'm like,
I have something really interesting to tell you.
Right.
So in my first mains, I was sitting next to that year's All India Rank 1,
okay, Shruti,
Shakti.
Shakti. Okay.
Yes, that's how we became friends also.
Right.
So, and I saw her handwriting in essay paper. I was like, okay,
My paper is gonna come after this.
And I was demotivated the entire time. After essay, I'm almost crying. Ki
How do you compete?
she has very good handwriting.
handwriting.
Very good handwriting. And she writes like from here to here.
End to end.
End to end. She does not leave anything.
Right.
So, I'm scared.
Right.
Which, yeah.
So you were saying
So I was saying, sir, just if your handwriting is not good,
Okay.
just increase the font size.
font size. Right. That helps.
Yeah, use more diagrams, flowcharts,
Okay.
less words, more messages.
More messages. No, I think this year also I have toppers who have converted at least one part of the answer into a schematic or a diagrammatic representation.
Yes.
So that's eating into the words, which is helping them manage the space better. Do you have paper completion issue?
So initially I had that issue.
How did you deal with it?
Okay, so to deal with it, I used to write many answers.
Right.
That is the only thing I think we should do.
Right.
Because initially I used to write only 16, 15, and then it went on to 18 questions, then finally to 20 questions. So I think that Anubhav mains, I have written 20 questions, barring the ethics wala part.
Right.
But when you reach to the main center, there we go in that auto mode, something happens to us, ki
Yes.
there we get to complete that 20 questions anyhow.
I think, see, what my theory is that in the actual UPSC examination, at least one question in every paper is going to be a bouncer type. Right?
Yes.
The paper is never out of 20. It's always out of 18, 19. Second, in mock test, deep down, you know it's a mock test. When your hand pains, you'll stretch, you'll drink some water. You're not going to exert, right? In the actual examination, it's like, it's do or die.
Yes.
No
So
toilet
that-
breaks, nothing, right?
So for that instance, I used to write 1 to 5 questions first.
Yeah,
ताकि
sequence.
थोड़ा impression भी create हो जाए.
You already have a good handwriting and then good.
You don't need to create any
No need to
impression.
create impression,
And
right.
then I leave that 6 to 10 questions and
Right.
then went on to write 11 to 20. So
Right.
even if there's something जो छूट जा रहा है तो वो 10 marker ही छूटेगा.
Right.
Then I come back to write 6 to 10 questions.
6 to 10
Yeah.
questions. What about you?
I think exactly same thing as she said. I used to have that issue, and I think we also discussed
Yes, yes.
when we were checking my test papers that you don't need to use a lot of connector words.
Okay.
So when you get a lot of practice, when you write a lot of answers, you understand that you need to put those keywords. You need to explain them, but no need to write big sentences where you're writing a lot of connector words.
I somewhere feel when an evaluator checks a certain number of copies of a particular
Yes.
test code, I don't think anybody would consciously read end to end everything.
That's just white space. That's just noise for them.
Right, right.
If you're not giving anything substantial, then all of that is just noise, and you're not adding anything, and you're wasting your time
Right.
and energy.
Right.
So I think I reduced my sentence ka size, like from 3-4 lamba sentence to 1 or 2 line ka
And this
sentence.
is counterintuitive in essay.
Yes, of
Right.
course. You have to write.
Write
that,
descriptively.
Yeah. Yes. But I think for GS, or same strategy, 5-6 questions first, then 11 to 20, and then back to,
You had paper completion issues.
yeah, I have.
And was it there in the actual examination also?
No, in actual examination, in my first mains.
Okay.
So I completed the paper. I wrote all questions.
But you are not satisfied with the later
Yes.
part.
Yes. So for a 3-page, I have written like 1 page or a 2-page
2 page.
in 2-3 questions.
Right.
So I think that was the issue. But I think in my second means I didn't have that issue after practicing so much.
What about you?
So I initially had this paper completion issue.
Paper completion issue.
So what I did was
250 was one thing that you said.
yeah, 250 was one thing, and another thing was I used to like contemplate it. What is taking more time? Is it recalling or is it writing?
I think even if you spend 1.5 minutes per question to think what to write, that's adding up to 30.
Exactly, sir. So in my case, recalling is something that takes more time than writing.
Okay.
So I used to like have small notes of things just to get a pictorial memory of it and then write faster.
AI and preparation, because I think that's something that's changing the landscape. Because I think the models were not very good
Yes.
2 years back, and now it's getting better every year. How much of AI have you used in your prep?
So I have used AI during interview times
Okay.
to generate what kind of questions can be asked with.
Did you record your response and then take
Yes,
feedback?
that
Right?
thing also I've done. I have talked to Gemini to take my interview, and then he or she used to take my interview. But for prelims and mains, I have not been very much fan of AI.
Okay.
The reason per se was once I asked something with respect to law to AI, and it gave me a wrong judgment.
There was a recent news in Supreme Court where
Yes,
it
CJ
had
was saying
judgments which was not even existing.
Existing.
Right.
That's the
created
thing.
judgments.
I asked him on, I think, socialism, something Bhim Singh versus Union of India, and it gave me different judgment, something made up judgment,
Judgments.
and then it lost
Then
my
you
faith.
lost trust.
my faith.
Right.
I told the AI ki you lost my faith.
So
I
I
made him say
I
sorry to
stopped
me.
my ChatGPT subscription. I'm like, I'm done with you. Like, I'm not going to pay you anymore.
Right.
So I made the AI say sorry to me. Ki say sorry, you have lost my faith. So for prelims and mains, for that purpose, I haven't used it. But for interview, I've used it intensively.
Okay. And I think it's good for dimensions on ideating and on exploring a theme. But factual information,
Yes.
it is still
Learning.
doubtful, right? It's still bluffing its way.
The machine
through.
is learning.
Machine is learning, right? What about you?
I think same goes for me, that I have not used AI for pre and mains. I think I belong to the previous generation, because feeding everything to it, giving it the right command and everything felt like so much of a task when you have already so much content available.
In your hand, it's curated
Yes.
and given.
Exactly. So many books, so many things, so many notes that you have never even looked at once. So I never felt the need.
It's only adding to the noise.
Exactly. It's adding to the noise, and if it's not in my head, अगर मुझे नहीं याद है कल तक, and if I'm not writing it on paper, I believe मुझे पढ़ने का भी need नहीं feel हुआ. And similarly for interview, I have used to create questions on my DAF, to analyze my DAF.
There, I think it's more effective because I
Yes.
think it's able to connect current affairs, create
Yeah.
questions. You feed it transcripts, it's able to tell you what are the other similar questions that can come.
Right.
Right. I'm sure I'm going to get an interesting answer. From
Yes,
you
sir.
would have experimented a lot on this.
Yes,
Right.
definitely. So one of my friends, he advised me that use AI as a personal intern.
Okay, as a personal intern, is your assistant.
This is your assistant. You have like do 2 projects, mains and interview. Use it extensively
Right.
and be cautious.
You don't have a $100 membership, no, per month? No.
No. I use
Everybody has $20 memberships.
I use his membership.
Membership,
because
okay.
because he is working
He's working, so he has a
lot of money.
Right. Okay. Okay. Right.
So I use it.
You used it as an assistant, right?
assistant during mains also, and during interview
Right.
lot regressively
Right.
during my mains. So from the factual accuracy part, I used to give input like government documents that use these documents only to generate facts.
Okay. So you're pre-feeding it.
Pre-feeding it.
Right.
So from that I used to generate like
So you gave it a data bank and said that okay, these are your reference material to extract.
yes. For example, if I have to use economic survey data, I use feed it economic survey document and generate data and then
Extract
pick it up
pick it
from
up
there.
that. Okay.
So things like that. In ethics, it helped me a lot.
Okay.
Especially those applied ethic questions.
The
There-
current oriented ones.
Yes.
Right.
This year there were a lot of questions.
Right. And I think I was reading recently about a concept called intellectual laziness.
Yes.
We stop thinking on the
Yes.
spot, right? Have you felt that?
Yes.
Yes, so when one uses AI, like it blocks your thinking capacity.
Right. There's a
Because-
cognitive laziness.
Yes,
You are done, right?
There's a thing like that.
Right.
So I have seen it in not only me but in many people who use AI. Like it stops you from brainstorming on.
There are
the
no
thing.
original ideas.
That's
Yes.
right.
Right. Whenever we ask people to suggest a name for something, everybody's names are similar because everybody is giving the same prompt and people come up with similar names. Right. Have you experienced cognitive laziness?
Yes, a lot. So what happens is कि when you are, so I used it for my interview. अब interview में कोई सवाल होता है, so often comes a point where you are not able to generate an answer. And when you use AI, you will never be able to generate that answer. Because first, initially, you will generate a very bad answer from your head. Very bad answer with less dimensions, but you don't even start the process. If you don't start that process and you introduce ChatGPT or AI there, it would be very difficult for you to even start thinking in those lines.
Because you don't have these tools in the exam hall.
Exactly.
Right. You have to have that ability.
Yeah.
What about you?
On similar lines, but I used to add one more step, like contemplating on whatever the answer is generated.
Okay.
Whether especially in the interview phase, I used to have this like 3-4 minute session for every answer that the AI has generated, whether I agree with it or not. What is my stand on that?
So thinking about your thinking.
Thinking about those
How
ideas.
you're thinking about something. There's
So
a term for this. There's a term for thinking about how you're thinking. I'm not able to recollect it right now. Right. So last set of questions. Right. What would you tell your younger self who was starting preparation? What would you have done differently?
Okay, so one thing I would have done differently was not to use my first attempt as a trial attempt.
Okay.
That would one thing I would say. Second thing would be that concise preparations with notes, and the most important would be with respect to my optional.
Okay.
Because I was somewhat underprepared with my optional, because most of times what we do is ki GS. Everywhere in the market also GS is dominant. So optional part we forget many a times. So I was
You
having
prioritized
yes,
GS,
I prioritized GS because I thought there's lots of subjects in GS 1, 2, 3, 4, and again lots of subjects into it also. So for per se, I've forgotten my optional like that. So I would say my younger self that optional is as much important as GS, because like optional ethics and essay makes difference.
And then those are the ones where the marks are made. Right?
Yes,
Right.
and those are the ones where you can create your own unique and fresh answers. So that one thing I would like to add.
What about you?
I would not change anything actually.
The journey was nice.
Yes, it was nice. I would just tell my younger self to have more faith, to
And
be
more kind to
calm.
yourself.
Be
Right.
kind to yourself, yes. Because I was very anxious. In my first mains, I used to have panic attacks, anxiety, so much of anxiety, and I have suffered for nothing. I mean, at the end of the day, whether you are suffering or not, whether you are being anxious or not, you are going to write the same paper.
Right.
I think even better paper if you're calm. I'll just tell her to be calm. It's going to be fine. If you make it or you don't make it, it's going to be fine. So I think that's very important.
You.
So I have like 2-3 suggestions. One, before starting, plan properly.
Right.
Talk to a lot of people.
Right. Once you decide,
Once
you
you
stick to
decide,
it.
you stick to it. Talk to a lot of people. Know the pitfalls. Know what not to do first.
Right. That's more important.
That's more important. And the second thing will be practicing.
Right.
Like how to practice things. And third will be expose yourself to like a simulated environment of a test or an exam.
As much time as possible.
As much possible.
Right.
These 3 things, sir.
Right.
Especially because the first one, because I took maths optional.
Was it a good choice?
I don't know. I
Right.
mean, from an exam.
It takes a lot of time.
Yes, it takes a lot of time. From an exam point of view, it's not remunerative.
Right.
It takes
But
a lot of
I
effort.
always feel the day it works, it does.
It does.
Right. Right. But that day has to be on that day. You have to be in that
Yes.
mode. Right.
You have to be like your absolute best in those 6 hours.
Right.
If you are not, then you are like done out of the cycle. So
One piece of advice you will give to someone who's thinking of joining in.
So one advice I would give ki if you have complete your foundation type of thing, basics, then you are most welcome in AIM, because here you'll do lots of answer writing. Everything comprehensively will be presented to you. But yes, it's a very rigorous process. Come here only if you want to end it, because I've seen people, there are lots of my friends are there, those who have started it, but
Right.
they've left it in between. They
Even
haven't
in
completed
counseling,
it.
we tell people that think before you join, because
Yes.
attrition is a problem you're
Yes.
facing. Right.
Like it's a very rigorous process. So yes, basically think before you join, because like then you'll feel ki it's a waste.
It's a lifestyle, I feel, because you have to
Yes.
change your routine,
It's a
you have to change your day.
Correct,
Right.
correct. And like there will be no time to be here and there running around the bush, because 5 days you have to write and then you have to give the test
Yes.
papers.
And it's week after week
Yes,
after week.
so
It's
now the
going.
AIM will be guiding you. So if you want that you guide AIM, so it won't work. So yes, think before you join this process.
What about you?
I think Shruti covered the major part, and I will just tell them there is no tomorrow when it comes to AIM. Please do not leave anything for tomorrow. There is going to be no tomorrow.
Every day. Today's work is today.
Today's work is today, and for some reason नहीं हो पा रहा है तो just move on और उसको फिर बाद में pending करो, because you will just be creating a cycle of backlog.
When we created this program, we were always doing test series, especially full year test series. And we realized that, when you have one test a week, students have a tendency to pile it up higher.
Yes.
Because you always think that, on a good day, I'm going to write all these tests and I'm going to finish it.
But it never happens.
It never comes.
That day never comes.
I think test series works for institutions which are running test series at a scale, because most people don't write tests. You'll be surprised with the data on how much copies come for evaluation. Because the pricing of these programs are neck to neck. Like, how much it costs to evaluate a paper. You guys are around here. So the pricing is neck to neck. It only works because people are not writing enough.
Okay.
So in that sense, I think in AIM, what we try to do is that, okay, you have a task every day, so that we are not leaving you to plan for the remaining week, and then you will do this at the end of the week, right? What about you? What would you suggest to someone who's thinking of AIM?
I mean, I would suggest them hang in there.
Right.
Like, just even if you have
No,
like
if
backlogs.
If someone is thinking, should I do this program or not? What should be the factor?
I believe even someone has not done some foundation course or something.
Right.
If you want some like comprehensive coverage,
Right.
you should
have a self-study of the topics first, right?
You have sufficiently read things on your own, even if you were not enrolled in some formal classroom program. This is a good place to come.
No, I think compared to the first year, we are getting more and more people who have interview appeared. I even had some rankers reach out because they are taking a year off.
Yes.
So we are getting more serious crowd in the program now. That I think is a good sign.
Yes, sir.
Right. Anything I have missed? Anything about Next IAS? Right. You are a foundation student.
She's
Yeah.
also.
You
We
are a
are
foundation
same
student.
batch.
From same batch.
We are
Same
from
batch,
same
right.
batch. Yes.
Next IAS. What comes to your mind when we say Next
Home.
IAS?
I always
like these
tell-
things that say second
Home away,
home.
second home, home
It
away
feels
from.
like home.
Right.
So whenever we are roaming around, and when we come to Next IAS, it
Right.
actually feels like home.
I think a lot of people are here so frequent. I say that you're like furniture. You're here, right?
Yes.
You have always been here.
Yes.
You associated with Next IAS only with the AIM program.
On with the AIM program.
Okay.
majorly.
Okay. How's your experience with Next IAS?
The AIM program was good.
Right.
Like, I think
Yeah,
mentors helped me a lot.
Right.
My mentor Tarun,
Tarun,
he helped
right.
me a lot. Like
Right.
I used to call him when I used to get frustrated with the exam
Right.
preparation.
I think that's the most common call everyone gets. Right?
So
And hopefully everyone picked up every time you called.
yes, every time
you were able to connect. And I think that's one thing that we are able to do better than others, that we are able to increase the number of interactions. I think the maximum number of times that a student interacted with our mentor this year was 80.
80.
Times.
Okay.
Right. There was a student who interacted with, because we have a tracking mechanism that
Yes.
when have they come, what have they talked about. So 80.
the best thing I liked about this program was that not like teacher-student relationship,
Right.
but
It's more of a
buddy relationship with
Right.
your mentor. Maybe it could be because I'm a
age
bit
or
older age also.
and also the people are also like that. It's not that headstrong people that who's patronizing you and telling you that beta ye kar lo. It's not that crowd. It's more of a like let's do this together kind of crowd.
So one word I would like to add: AIM equals to accountability.
Accountability.
Like you have to be accountable to your mentor. You have to accountable to yourself.
Varun is super high on
Yes.
accountability.
And then you have to be accountable. Like we have to upload our answer papers on the platform of Next IAS. So you have to upload over there also. So
Right.
there's lots of accountability around.
Right. Aman can get very serious. He can get very stern. I had to request him to be less aggressive once.
Yes, yes.
Because I remember once he had you're all stupid people. Like he gets emotional about it, right?
Yes.
Right.
So I and Mohit, both of us had Aman sir as our mentor.
Right.
So I used to go to Aman sir and tell कि sir Mohit जिस pace से कर रहे हैं, I am not going to write answers in that pace. It's like ऐसे कैसे नहीं होगा? होगा तुम करके तो देखो.
करके देख लो. Right.
Yes sir, I'm doing that.
How was your experience with Tarun?
It was great actually.
Okay,
Like,
you had a buddy relationship.
I had a buddy relationship. I used to like lag behind on targets.
Okay,
So he would not push me much.
but he will nudge you.
Yes, he would nudge me, like calling 2-3 times a week.
Okay.
Like Sunday is coming, you need to finish.
You need to finish the test.
Because as I said earlier, Monday, Tuesday used to be.
you were in the corporate mode.
Yes.
Right.
So in initial phases, he nudged me a lot. So that helped me actually to stay on the targets.
Any of you was part of CAVA?
No.
No. Darshana was not part of CAVA.
I was not part of CAVA. During interviews,
Interview
I've done
guidance
both
program.
times.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, thank you so much for your time, and I hope at least some part of this would be useful for students. I really like superstition. What was it they said?
Yes, superstition.
Rationalizing
Optimizing.
Optimizing superstition. I'm going to take that away. Like I'm going to use it now. Like you need to optimize your superstitions.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
sir.
your time.
Thank you.